It's my 19-year-old birthday on Saturday, and I planned to go out drinking and come home to sleep after I was done. My mum came into my room the other day asking me if I want to go and stay somewhere on that Saturday night so she can have her man over to do the deed. I was obviously upset by this and told her I planned on coming home as I wanted to sleep in my own bed. She then persisted that I go and stay with a friend because she didn't want to have to go out to do whatever. I said it is not my problem that she wants someone to stay over, and I will be coming home to sleep. She then told me that she would be loud and make sure to wake me up to hear, and made it clear she did not want me home. This could have been a joke, but either way that is not normal to say that to your child, right? For context, I have been hearing my mum have intimacy with her boyfriends at the time since I was around 10 years old, and I had complained multiple times at hearing this. I obviously don't want to come home and hear my mum having intimacy, but I also want to sleep at home, as it is my bed and I too live there. We've been going back and forth on this, and now I'm going to stay somewhere else, but I still feel like she's in the wrong for asking me to leave in the first place. IDK what to think I understand where she is coming from, but still. Edit. I feel like I need to clear some things up. First of all, no, I do not pay rent because simply I cannot afford to. I live in the UK, so there's no underage drinking. I cannot simply just move out, that is easier said than done. And when I go to uni next year, I do plan on leaving. And my mum also agrees that then will be the best time for me to move. I'm still in full-time education and have a part-time job, so let's not be so harsh on the fact that I still live with my mum. I understand the privilege of living at home rent-free, but it doesn't take away from the fact that my own mum wants to get me out the house so she can have intimacy with someone. Some of you asked about the boyfriend, and yes, he does have his own home, it's just in another city, and I've personally never met him. Now, for a few comments before the update. Comment 1. Not the idiot. This was my childhood too. I came home on my 18th birthday to hearing my mother having intimacy with her husband. I turned around and sat in our backyard crying for hours because of how I couldn't even feel comfortable in my own home, and on my birthday nonetheless. It was like 6 p.m. in the afternoon and they were in the living room. It's insane to me to make your children feel uncomfortable in their own home. After that, I planned my escape. I moved 900 plus miles away a decade ago, and I've never returned, nor will I return to their home. Also important to note that as a child you did not have the ability to consent, nor the option to remove yourself from the situation. I brought this up to my therapist before, and she felt strongly that this was very much hurtful and emotionally neglectful to put a child in a situation like this. She was appalled. And so am I that people are saying you're TR for being upset about this, considering your whole childhood you were forced to hear intimacy acts against your will. And honestly, I don't care if you're paying rent or not. Being a parent doesn't end when your kids turn 18. You still have a moral responsibility to protect for children emotionally, physically and mentally to the best of your ability. Comment 2. Not the idiot and the number of people saying you're a jerk, and you should just leave the house or something, prove how detached of reality those peoples are. You literally hear your mum having intimacy since you're 10, and she literally threatens you with being loud during the deed, especially when you complained about it. A kid shouldn't have to hear their parents have intimacy, especially when it's multiple strangers. It can be traumatizing. She can still have intimacy with whoever she wants. The kids just don't need to hear it, earths. And yeah, I know, the kids should be out of the house at 18, we're going to come and be like, well, it's not her house. Yes, it is. She literally have the same rights as her mum, even if she doesn't pay, which she literally got out of high school at 18. Or maybe later, not even yet if she's got held back for a year or more, but I guess the parents ready to throw out their kids immediately when they turn 18 can't think of that, or other scenarios where life isn't all rose-tinted and easy. Comment 3. Not the idiot. Your mum sucks, both meanings of the word, obviously. I'm 40, a dad with a live-in girlfriend. We have intimacy regularly, while our teenage and preteen kids are in the house. We shut our door, and it's usually done at night when we have our loud fan on so no one can hear what's going on. There are ways to get some with kids in the house that don't disturb anyone. Telling your kid to leave so you can get laid is pretty crappy, especially on their birthday. OP, be sure to put on your noise-cancelling headphones that night. Or, if you're feeling extra petty, make a sign of encouragement to place outside their door for when they're done. Maybe some water bottles for dehydration and cookies, or even the phone number to a pharmacy that sells the morning after pill. Now for the update. So guys, it's been about 6 months since that whole fiasco with my mum and her boyfriend, and I've got some pretty surprising updates. Firstly, I moved out. I decided that I needed my own space, especially after that incident. I've been renting a small apartment closer to my job and school, and honestly, it's been refreshing to have some independence. It's also been good for my relationship with my mum. We've been seeing each other regularly, and it's less tense now that I'm not constantly there to witness her romantic life. Now, here's where it gets interesting. My mum and I had a deep heart-to-heart about the whole situation. She admitted that she didn't handle it well and apologized sincerely for making me feel uncomfortable. She said she didn't realize how much it affected me. In hindsight, she felt embarrassed about her actions, and I could tell she really meant it. Furthermore, she's been seeing a therapist. Apparently, she'd been struggling to balance her personal life with her role as a mum. She said she felt guilty for neglecting my feelings, but didn't know how to go about addressing it. The therapist has been helping her communicate better and consider others' perspectives. It honestly took me by surprise. I never expected her to take such steps. It made me realize that parents are human too, and they can make mistakes. The willingness to apologize and to change was something I genuinely appreciated, and it definitely repaired our relationship. I'm not saying everything's perfect now, but it's better. We've both grown from this experience, and we're continuing to understand each other better. So, to anyone who may be in a similar situation, sometimes it might take a while for people to realize their mistakes. Patience and communication are key. Just thought I'd share this with you guys. It's been a wild ride, but I'm glad I stuck it out. You never know how things might turn around. Now for the comments. Comment 1. Not the idiot, you were put into a tough situation, and it sounds like you handled it with grace and maturity. It's not easy to confront a parent about their behavior, especially when it involves their romantic relationships. It's clear you prioritized your emotional well-being by moving out, which is a very commendable decision. While it must have been hard, it seems like it was the catalyst your mum needed to recognize her mistakes and take steps to improve herself. It's heartening to hear she's seeking therapy to better balance her personal life and responsibilities as a mother. Comment 2. Not the idiot. From your story, it seems you've shown great resilience and patience during this difficult time. Moving out and creating your own space must have been a challenging step, but it seems like it was necessary for both you and your mum to grow. It's encouraging to hear that your mum acknowledged her behaviour and is making efforts to improve with therapy. This shows she's willing to take responsibility for her actions and wants to mend your relationship. This is a great example of how sometimes adversity can lead to growth and understanding. Comment 3. Not the idiot. The way you managed this situation shows a lot of wisdom and maturity. It's impressive that you were able to take such a decisive step and move out to protect your own mental and emotional health. Your actions seem to have served as a wake-up call for your mum, pushing her to acknowledge her shortcomings and seek professional help, which is a tough but necessary step. It's heartwarming to see that your relationship with your mum has improved and you both have grown from this experience. Your advice about patience and communication is spot on. It's a key aspect of maintaining healthy relationships. Now, for the next story, my wife and I each brought a daughter from previous relationships into our marriage. Despite being only a year apart in age, our daughters were completely different, and that's why I'm here. My daughter has always been athletic and outgoing. Growing up, she played basketball, softball, soccer, volleyball, and even golf. In middle school, she picked up tennis and never looked back. I paid for her to have private lessons, and when she found out how much I was paying for those lessons, she decided that's what she wants to do as her teenage job. She's now a junior and is one of the best players on her high school team and teaching tennis lessons. She teaches elementary school kids and charges $75 per hour per kid. With her skills and outgoing personality, she has a waiting list of kids and makes about $1,200 a week. She could make more, but I limit her hours so that she can concentrate on school. My stepdaughter is reserved and not very athletic. We always tried to sign her up for the same sport and team as my daughter, but she either objected or quit a couple of weeks in. I get it. Sports are not for everyone, so I never made her feel bad about it. She recently turned 16 and got a job at a burger place nearby. She's making $13 an hour and brings home less than $200 a week. My daughter recently decided that she wants to be independent by buying her clothes and electronics with her own money. Obviously, she can afford the latest styles and gadgets. She recently bought herself the top-of-the-line Mac. My stepdaughter is jealous of her sister and has been very vocal about it. While we were in bed last night, my wife said it was unfair one is making so much more than the other. I answered that there's nothing we can do about it and it's a good life lesson for the girls. My wife then suggested we have my daughter use her money to help my stepdaughter buy the same things, or we cover the pay difference between the girls. I laughed because I thought she was joking, but she wasn't. We quietly argued for about an hour before we went to sleep. This morning she brought it up again and accused me of refusing because I'm playing favourites and that's an move for a parent. We argued until we had to leave for work. Update. Thanks for reading my post and giving me your input. I've read through most of the replies during my lunch and I'll get through the rest after work. I'll answer some common questions. We tried to sign my stepdaughter up for the same sports as my daughter because we thought it would be a bonding experience. We also wanted to get her out of the house and meet people because she spends most of her time in her room playing World of Warcraft. We didn't make her participate, but asked that she try things for at least a couple of weeks, then she could quit if she wanted to. We tried to get her to sign up for things that she enjoys, but she always refuses. Before getting this job, she spent much of her free time playing games, so I'm at a loss to think of any marketable skills she could leverage into tutoring. Now for a few comments before the update. Comment 1. Not the idiot. This one is very cut and dry for me. Very. Your wife is asking you to both punish your daughter for her success and to also reward her daughter for her comparative complacency. It's surprising your wife wouldn't be able to see how unfair that actually is. There is no logical reason to force your daughter to share her incredibly impressive income with her stepsister, Emo. Now, your daughter has reaped the benefits of private tennis lessons, but it sounds like that was the biggest leg up she was given. I can see you and your wife paying to give her daughter a similar leg up if she showed the interest, but ultimately, both of these young women are sleeping in beds they've made. Your wife is being entitled and unreasonable. There is nothing wrong with daughter's existing income. Treating her daughter the way she is suggesting now will do nothing but enforce and reward her crappy and jealous behaviour. Edit. My phrasing was much too harsh in condemning OP's stepdaughter of complacency, which wasn't fair. Made small language adjustments. Comment 2. Not the idiot. What is fair is not always what is equal. Your daughter has skills that are in demand and her salary reflects that. Your stepdaughter is starting out on a typical student career path and her salary reflects that. Forcing your daughter to fund your stepdaughter would be the height of unfairness. Your wife needs to stop trying to turn your home into a crab pot and let her daughter figure out where her own talents lie. My brother-in-law has a doctorate, with a well-paying job in his field. His wife is in high fashion, and they live a dink life. They are buying real estate in New York. My husband and I are civil servants with children to raise. According to your wife's ideas, my brother-in-law should be sending me palimony checks every month to support my children. After all, he's my husband's brother. That's not life, and she would do a disservice to her daughter with her bad ideas. Comment 3. Can you help her maybe get a better job? Is she good at her studies or anything else? Tutoring elementary kids can make her $50 or plus an hour if she's good. I have never been sporty, but I make the bank tutoring while in school. Also, as your daughter tennis lesson were so expensive, I know I have a kid doing it and $100 is the minimum for a tennis teacher. Did stepdaughter have the privilege or receiving equal financial help in cultivating whatever her hobby passion is? It's not your daughter's job to help her sister out, but it is parental duty to offer all kids equal opportunities and then let them put to fruition. Now for the update. Well folks, here's the update. We were able to sit down as a family and discuss the situation. I explained that each person's journey is different and that comparing ourselves to others can only lead to discontent. I tried to emphasize how we each have unique gifts and talents and that success is not measured by a paycheck. It was a bit of a heavy talk, but I think it sunk in. Something wonderful happened after that. My biological daughter, the tennis champ, offered to help her sister get a higher paying job by teaching her some tennis and letting her assist in the lessons. She shared that she had already spoken to her boss and there was a slot available for an assistant coach. It would mean better pay and schedule for her sister. My stepdaughter was initially hesitant, but she agreed to give it a try. The whole experience brought them closer together. They've started spending more time together outside of work as well. I'd often see them in the garden practicing their serves or just chatting. It was a heartwarming sight. As for my wife and I, we are on better terms now. We had a long talk about our expectations and how we approach situations that involve the girls. We agreed to communicate more effectively and make decisions that consider everyone's feelings. It was a difficult lesson to learn, but it made us a stronger couple. The best part, my stepdaughter, who was never into sports before, is now showing a genuine interest in tennis. She even mentioned wanting to take it up as a hobby. It's amazing how things turned out. We're still working things out, but I think we're heading in the right direction. Thanks for all your advice, it made a world of difference. Now, for the comments. Comment 1. Not the idiot. It seems like the biological daughter went out of her way to help her stepsister better her situation. She could have easily kept her skills to herself, but instead she chose to share them to help someone else. This is a beautiful example of familial love and bonding. The parents also did a great job by talking things out instead of making assumptions or decisions without each other's input. Communication is key in any relationship, and it's great to see that being practiced here. The stepdaughter also deserves credit for being open to learning new things and embracing the opportunities provided. Comment 2. Not the idiot. This is a beautiful example of how a blended family should function. The biological daughter is displaying empathy, compassion and understanding towards her stepsister, which is commendable. The parents are also setting a great precedent by engaging in open dialogue about their expectations and concerns. This proactive approach to parenting is not only beneficial for the parents, but also for the girls as they are being shown that their feelings and opinions are valuable and respected. The stepdaughter's interest in tennis is a testament to the positive influence of her new family. Comment 3. Not the idiot. The family appears to be fostering a healthy, supportive environment for both girls. The biological daughter's offer to help her stepsister is a clear example of the selfless love and camaraderie that should exist between siblings. The parents are also playing their part well by discussing their expectations and approach, which promotes transparency and understanding. The stepdaughter's interest in tennis and her willingness to learn and grow is a positive outcome of this supportive environment. It's great to see a family coming together and growing stronger through open communication and shared interests. If you like this video, you'll probably like these too. Also, while you're here, please consider subscribing. It's your support that keeps this channel alive and allows me to make better and longer videos. Have a great day.